You're with Julian on the Brown Note, and while we're on the subject of Ukraine yet again, Eurovision Song Contest, what an absolute con job that whole thing is. It is a basket case. Ukraine won the public vote. Let's have a look at the voting. Now, any year up until the modern era, it was decided by each country voting, and that was one conclusive. I'm speaking as a Brit here. We came last 2 years running. We're arguably the world's greatest songwriting nation. Only America could probably even argue with that point. And our modern Eurovision entries have been garbage, absolute garbage. So we won for the first time in decades. We won with 283 jury votes. Sweden second with 258, Spain third with 231, and nearly 100 votes shy was Ukraine. So who wins? Ukraine. That's like doing the gymnastics at the Olympics and you score winning votes from the judges and then they say, let's let the public phone up. It's a song contest. It's a contest. Saying you're going to vote for Ukraine because you're going to vote for Ukraine is rigging the system. It's got nothing to do with a competition. What is the point in you? Don't say you're the Eurovision Song Competition. Whatever happened, Ukraine wins that public vote. And, oh, look, they've got 631 votes and the UK have got 466. So it was a complete con job to even do that. And obviously I've got skin in the game. But what's the point in calling it competition if the public can just overturn the vote? You've won the 100 metres gold medal. Hold on, let's phone Timmy at home and ask him what he thought. But the biggest farce about this is everyone's being all kumbaya. The Eurovision's so pro-gay and inclusive and pro-trans and all of this. Well, one word, Israel. Israel won the Eurovision Song Contest. Israel hosted the Eurovision Song Contest only a few years ago. This is a country that over the weekend has seen the Israeli Defense Force ripping Palestinian flags off the coffin of a murdered journalist. And they have any pretense that this competition is to do with human rights, selective human rights. I guess the Palestinians just aren't European enough. The treatment of Palestinian people would, I would suggest, wipe the floor with what happened in the Ukraine over the last year, over the last few months. What's been happening to them has been happening for more than half a century. And the amount of human rights abuses and war crimes that have been directed at them, but they're good enough to host the competition and to win the competition, and no one says anything. They stand there with their, pride flags, making out that they're all about Ukraine and defending, oppressed civilian populations. But it's a con. The Eurovision is a con. It's a con on voting. It's a con on human rights. And they even had the 6 countries taking part in Eurovision had their votes cancelled. Certainly regular voting patterns were spotted following the dress rehearsal of the second semi-final. It didn't name the countries but removed the votes for Azerbaijan, Georgia, Montenegro, Poland, Romania and San Marino. Now, the hilarious thing is that the Eurovision Song Competition has engaged in block voting since it was incepted, where all of the Eastern Bloc countries vote one way and countries form bonds where they'll give one country 0 and another 10 no matter what happens. So voting irregularities, and I would say that the public usurping the vote of the jury was a voting irregularity to claim some sort of high-minded moral high ground on your voting. Just absolutely rubbish. But it's a farcical thing. The public rigged it, and why even have the judges voting? Why? Hey, you came first, but you know what? We really didn't. We wanted to give it to the other guy. What a con! And we really support your you fighting against oppression and tyranny, but just not Palestinians when we let Israel host it. Absolute con.